This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed actor, recording artist, and overall entrepreneur, the one and only Josiah Henry. Hello, Josiah. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you? How you doing?
Josiah, doing so much better now that we're finally connected. You are in Los Angeles, me in New York. And I'm so excited you're joining this amazing new social media app. And I want to know first and foremost, Josiah, where were you born and when did you realize that you wanted to go into the arts?
Yeah, I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. I realized that I wanted to go into the arts very early. I was about 7 years old. And I used to watch this TV show named Little House on the Prairie all the time, you know. And my parents, my mother just in particular would just kind of break it down to me, like, the acting, the way the whole story worked out, from the book itself being written to just the concept for this show. And then the actor name, his name was Michael Landon, the actor, main actor, producer, director, writer, everything. And that fascinated me, to the point where I wanted to actually get into acting. I wanted to learn how to produce my own TV shows, how to produce, my own stuff in general. And it just kind of led me on a journey. I did some acting when I was in middle school. I wrote extensively, through high school. And when I got a little bit older, I was able to kind of get into some films and some productions and things like that, and just kind of put my skills to use.
That's amazing. Well, here you are in Los Angeles, and I want to know, Josiah, are there any projects that you have coming up that you can share with us in the audience?
I just right now it's been a little bit slow lately. I've been working more so on my business as of
Talk a little
late.
bit about it. Talk a little bit about your business.
Right. So I have it's named Upwind Delivery Solutions. We do deliveries primarily right now throughout the Los Angeles area, and also in the Valley as well too. But we've also gone to San Diego and some other areas as well. But primarily in Los Angeles, and we're a small company right now, but we're building, we're growing. So I've been spending the last, I would say, 9 months or so working on that, and I just kind of put the acting. I did a couple commercials in August and some shoots, for some smaller publications, but I haven't really done so much lately on the visual front.
Well, Josiah, you have a good excuse. We're in something called a frickin' pandemic. But what I also love, Josiah, what you've been able to do is that you've been able to use your creative spirit to keep things moving. And you invented something you probably saw a need in delivery. Now more than ever, people are in their homes. I know that Los Angeles right now is going through another uptick with this Omicron, and you found a need for people and you created something where there wasn't. And I think that's it's so inspiring, because I've spoken with hundreds of artists who are doing the exact same thing. They are acting
Right.
in their own lives. They are acting, not waiting. They are acting and creating innovative
Right.
ways to keep moving
Right.
forward. And I think it's just the spirit of being an artist. Would you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing about it. It's really, like you said, like we're in a pandemic right now, and it just really it's forced a lot of people, myself included, to really put their creativity to work, and sometimes outside of the arts, in areas that maybe we probably wouldn't have thought of really going into before. For me personally, I had experience with that before. I used to do a lot of when I was in Boston, I used to do a lot of you know gigs and stuff like that on the side. So I think that it's important for artists when they're coming up to have a skill set, have a business, have something that's unrelated to the art, that can bring in consistent work that they can actually use to expand, to grow, hire people, do things like that, and then,
Absolutely.
they could use that to parlay that into the business.
And also on top of that, life experience in any realm, in any discipline, in any job is going to be tools in the tool belt for you as an actor, as a creator. And also talk to me a little bit about your life as a recording artist. When did you realize that you had this love of singing as well?
That was also pretty early on. I would say not as early as the acting, but it was maybe I would say five or so years after. Um, when I was about 12, I really got into music. I started writing, and I was I wasn't able to do much with it. When I was growing up, I kind of came from a very strict household, so hip hop and rap, any of those type of things, R&B, any genre pretty much that was outside of pretty much outside of like religious music was was not banned, but we weren't allowed to really sing or do that in the house, you know. So but for me that's kind of what fueled me to like want to do it even more, you know. So I would write, you know, I had notebooks, I write it down, I write my raps down, and then I was friends with some kids from the city as well too. I'm from this city named Brockton, by the way. Shout out Brockton. Um, they had a rap group called For Life. So I wrote some songs, but they were connected to a few other people. They had a brother that was connected in the club scene in Rhode Island, and they were connected to some rappers, some mainstream people. So I actually wrote one or two songs for them, and I submitted it to them, and they liked the music, and they wanted to work with me after that, you know. But it didn't materialize the way I wanted it to. My parents kind of stopped it. You know, I was about 12 years old at the time, you know, so I wasn't really able to do much. And so that was a little bit disappointing, but it showed me that there was potential out there, you know, that I had
At
something.
12, I would say so, my friend, and you are still so young with so many years ahead of you. And Josiah Henry, I just want to let the audience know, for
Right.
more on the incredible Josiah, you can read more about him and all that he has going on right below this video. Final question for you, Josiah. If you could give advice to any artists out there who may be having a tough time right now, lighting that spark within them, that creative spark, especially in these isolating, uncertain
Right.
times, what advice, Josiah, would you give to them?
Right. You know, keep your options open. You may have something that you're good at that you want to do, but you know, have options. Be open to change. Be open to just to approaching that whatever it is that you want to do, approaching it from more than one uh, entry point. You know, if that makes sense. You know, so
Absolutely, Josiah. And I think what you're also touching upon is something I've spoken with so many artists about. It's
right,
not about the destination, it's about the journey. In letting go of the how you get to the destination, because you never know how you're going to get there. It's just keeping your options open. And Josiah, that's such great advice. Listen, I'm so excited you're joining this brand new social media app. But Josiah, I'm also excited that we are now connected.